The pace of technological advancements moving so fast we can hardly keep up, whether it's using hands-free device in our cars, or Alexa or Google Home in our homes, or maybe it's Siri on the iPhone. Voice commands are doing more and more for us, which of course begs the question, what happens to all those voice commands once they're out there in the ether? Well, Ed Herman is here from the law firm Brown and Crouppen, and that makes me wonder, does hands-free mean privacy-free? It's all out there.
Yes, it basically
Okay, well, that was a very short segment,
yes.
Ed.
Well, but there's bad news and there's good news.
Right.
The bad news is really everything you're saying, if it's in the presence of one of these devices, is probably being recorded somewhere, because they do have to listen all the time. Your phone needs to be listening in case you say Siri. You know, your Alexa is listening at home, or your Echo is listening at home, waiting for you to say, Alexa, play Johnny Cash or whatever. Wow. So they're always listening. So that's the bad news. Now here's the good news. As far as we can tell, they're not using it for any, purpose other than to sell you stuff. I mean, they're not digging into your life to invade your to make a moral judgment about how you live your life. They're not trying to get anybody in trouble, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to market to you. And so if they do hear me say, play Johnny Cash, maybe the next time I go to my phone, I'm being offered a lot of black shirts. That's how I got this black shirt.
Well, good. You hear a lot of Johnny Cash.
But this is what happens. So, and the other good piece of news is there's really no evidence to suggest that a human being is listening.
I was going to ask about that. Is there somebody just listening?
Everything's computerized now. They hear, and they're not, they don't have the ability to really tell the context that you're talking about. They're looking for words that trigger marketing things. I say, oh, I watched the Yankee game last night. I may find a bunch of Yankee merchandise being offered on my timeline, or the Royals, or the Cardinals, whatever the case may be.
So they're trying to sell you stuff.
They're selling stuff. Yeah. You've noticed this, haven't you?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
You're like, my God, what a coincidence. I was just mentioning razor blades in an email I sent to my son, and then all of a sudden I'm being offered razor blades.
That's right.
So, my advice to people is sort of, surrender to it. It's just the world that we live in now. Maybe there's a positive. Maybe it's better to see advertisements that might actually be relevant for you, rather than just seeing a bunch of ads that you couldn't care less about.
What if we're worried about our privacy, though, Ed? What if we are thinking, I want to protect my privacy, even if it's something as mundane as razor blades? I want to protect my privacy.
There's really no way to do it. You could live a life without technology, without smartphones, without an Echo in your home, and give yourself the illusion of some privacy. It's just really hard nowadays, and I think that I guess there are ways to do it, but I can't figure that. I think what's easier is probably to recognize that we all live relatively boring lives. That nobody would ever make a movie about or a television show about. People would have very little interest in what's going on in our lives, and so get over ourselves a little bit and just recognize that this is how it is now.
Do you think this could be used in a criminal trial sense?
There have been a couple of cases, although they haven't been fully resolved, where a murder takes place somewhere, and the prosecution is trying to get Amazon to turn over whatever recordings they may have from the time of the murder, if it could have been heard. But we haven't seen any of that play out all the way down the road. So I don't know how easily searchable that stuff is, but you could actually tell if you have Alexa, Echo in your home. You go to the app, and there's an entire list of everything that you've ever asked Alexa to do. And that's just the stuff that they're showing you, but she's heard everything.
Wow, that's amazing stuff. Well, if you have a legal question for Brown and Crouppen, you can call them at 777-7777. That's all sevens. You can also visit them online at getbc.com. Thank you, Ed.
Cool.